Hello my birdies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and this is Robin's Reading Nest. Please like, share, and subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Book Talk and the Storygraph at Robin's Reading Nest. For, for those of you that have been with me for the last year, you know that this channel talks about books that I'm currently reading and book reviews and anything book related. My YouTube is usually full-length videos where I do my book reviews, and I do my shorts, and my TikToks are usually just like little short book content that I try to put up on the daily. And with my Instagram, sometimes it's a mix of both. But I haven't uploaded a video to YouTube since May. Yeah, I think Mrs. Wiggins was the last. Yeah, I think that was the last full review that I uploaded. And I've been trying to get back in the habit of loading shorts and, little TikToks in the last couple of days. I just wanted to make a quick video, give you a life update, let you know what's going on. I noticed that the subscriber goal that I was trying to push for, I hadn't met it. And it was my 1-year booktuber anniversary back in March. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to make a content calendar, and I'm just, start putting out more content, trying to be more consistent with my uploading. And I did. I wrote out my calendar, and I had planned to do videos because after that Mrs. Wiggins video for the month of May, I wanted to do like books that involve mothers. So Mrs. Wiggins was the first one. I was going to do The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose. Miss Pearlie's Girls by Rashonda Tate. And then, let's see. Hold on. Let me check my notes because I wrote some notes down. Let's see. Who was the last one? Oh, Glory Days by Danielle Arsenault. So, and then in June, I was going to do The Fathers. So, it was going to be Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby, Razorblade Tears. Oh my goodness. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. And then the very last one was going to be Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. So, like I said, I was going to be consistent and get everything put out at once. And so at the end of May, we went to go visit family, have a cookout and whatever. And we had a great time, My mom and dad and my sister and her son come, and, we were planning to have another cookout, which would have been the 3rd week of July. So the Memorial Day cookout was that Sunday, which was, I know I should have memorized all of this, but it's a lot going on. Let's see. The cookout was the 25th. So yeah, the 25th. And we had plans to get together in July. Fast forward to that Friday, I was talking to a relative about a cousin that passed away in our family, and I was like, oh my goodness, I wonder how my cousin is doing, because it was his wife. So I was like, oh God, I can't imagine what he's going through, not realizing I was about to get a call just like that. So while I was on the phone with that relative, my sister is calling me, and she was like, oh, I need you to, to answer the phone. And I was like, well, I'll text you in a minute. She was like, no, I need you to answer the phone now. So she was like, our dad, he was sick, and he passed out, and they were trying to, you know, resuscitate him and do all the things, and they called the ambulance and took him to the hospital. And she was like, well, I'll call you right back. And she called right back, and she was like, he's gone. And I was like, are you serious? Like, how do we go from, dad is sick to he's gone? So my world was turned upside down. So that was the 30th, May 30th. So we basically spent the first 2 weeks of June planning a funeral. So we ended up having his funeral the day before Father's Day. Like, how cruel is that? So, I don't know if you can, that's my daddy. So and you know what else is crazy? So my mom and my dad, well, my mom and my sister and I, we're getting this funeral together for my dad, and we really didn't have time to grieve. Like, his death affected so many more people besides us, that every time somebody came to give condolences, we're comforting them, and they was like, oh, I knew him for this many years, and I worked with him, and I used to see him in this store all the time, and oh my God, I'm gonna miss him. And so we're sitting here patting other people on the back, and we're just like, okay, well, we can't break down because we literally have to take care of all these other people, which is crazy. But yeah, I would have to say that the funeral was beautiful, and I know he probably enjoyed it, because he liked to be at the center of attention. So all of the flowers and the way he was dressed, it was really nice. It was a nice homegoing. So during that time, I read, I think, Frida McFadden's The Coworker. And yeah, I didn't write a review. I think I did a short. Yeah, I did a short on TikTok, basically saying currently reading. And I posted my June wrap up. So I was not in the mood to do anything book related. And so when we came back home, I realized, like, oh shoot, we've got this cousin trip coming up to New Orleans for the Essence Festival. And I kind of gotta get my head together to get this trip together. Now, the good thing about that is that my sister had already taken care of the tickets and the housing. She got an Airbnb. And so my husband and I, we got the transportation. We got a van for everybody to fit, because it was going to be 7 of us total. And we booked everything like months in advance. And so, every day we're checking in with our other cousins, and we're like, do you have this? Do you have that? Are you prepared? So If we're leaving July 4th, well, no, we left the 3rd. If we're leaving July 3rd, why are we getting a text message like June 28th telling us, hey, we know that you picked this van, but we're taking it out of the fleet. It's no longer available, and we don't have anything else available for you at this time. Like, are you serious? Like, we're literally leaving on the 3rd, and you want to tell me a couple of days in it before that you don't have anything? And not only that, like the 29th, no, actually it was the 29th we got the call. The 28th, they took the money out of our account. So here we are panicking because, transportation was on our to-do list. Everybody was going to come to my house, and we were going to all get in the van and leave from there. So I'm like, oh God, what are we going to do? So my husband makes a couple of calls, and he finds another van, thank God. And it was more up to date, and it was nicer, cleaner. So that worked out. We made it to New Orleans, and we stayed from July 3rd all the way until that Monday, which was the 7th. Yeah, the 7th. So, I mean, New Orleans, I always have a good time in New Orleans because it started off as just a sister trip. Me and my baby sister. We started going in 2013. We went again in 2014, and we didn't go the years after that because we had so much going on we couldn't find the time. But last year, 2024, we went with one cousin, and she enjoyed herself, and we were like, well, what if we invite, the rest of the family, the kids, the husbands and stuff? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But it turns out New Orleans heat, you have to be built for New Orleans heat. And I started to think like, I don't think my family is built for that because they have a hard time in Georgia heat, and everybody was born and raised here. So we were like, no, we'll do, kids next year, 2026. So this year, like I said, it was just cousins, and we had a good time. We went to the convention center. We went to the concerts at night. Woo. Auntie getting old. Once the clock strike midnight, Auntie eyes get the blinking because Auntie has been in the sun all day. But we made it. Just about every night. I swear we didn't get out of there till like 3 o'clock, but we made it. The funny part is that the husbands of the cousins, they were like, number one, it's too cold in here, and this is too long, we're leaving. But we had a good time. So we get back that Monday. Tuesday morning, my husband and I, we go return the van. And we literally have maybe a half a day of rest because on Thursday, my daughter went to the Cowboy Carter concert in Atlanta. Now, I booked that. Well, she got her ticket back in March, I think. But we booked a hotel in May because we live in the suburbs. We stay outside of Atlanta. And there was no way that I was going to be driving in the traffic to take her to a Cowboy Carter concert and then turn around and come back and pick her up. No, I was not going to do that. So I decided to just get a hotel room at the Omni. That way we could just walk over to the State Farm Arena and she'll be there. And then whenever the concert was over with, we would walk her back to the room. Now, I did not go to Cowboy Carter. I saw Beyonce in 2013 at Essence. So that was good enough for me. And like I say, Auntie getting old. Auntie can't sit up late in the night. But she was supposed to go with her friend, but her friend, she couldn't get the day off. So she ended up going by herself. So yeah, that Wednesday we checked in, kind of walked around and see how far of a walk it was, and try to get familiar with everything in the neighborhood. Thursday, we made the video. If you haven't seen the video, I will link it in the description box and probably put a little clip at the bottom of this video. But she had a really good time, and everybody that we met while she was standing in line to go in the stadium, they were nice, and one lady helped her find her seat. So everybody was like, oh, it's the concert of a lifetime. And so I'm glad she got a chance to experience that. That Friday, we were wore out. We got up, we did room service, and come home. Now keep in mind, my husband had to go back to work when we came back from New Orleans. So he's going back and forth, and he came to the hotel Thursday evening. So yeah, it was like right after my youngest daughter and I walked the oldest over to the concert. He came by. So that Friday he was off, luckily. And so we just kind of sat in the hotel for a minute and went home. And when we got home, I think everybody crashed. We needed it. Our bodies were tired. Now, today, August 3rd, I am in the parking lot of the emergency room because my oldest son was in a car accident on Tuesday. And he started complaining of back pain. And it was getting worse. So I'm sitting out here waiting for him. And I said, you know what? I have been trying to record this video for the last couple of weeks, trying to get my hair together and look somewhat decent. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to turn this camera on in this car, record this video, and you get what you get. Life is lifing at this moment. So you get chapstick and hoop earrings and a bandana, because yeah. But like the video would have been longer than this, because like my notes are just, it's a lot. But I'm gonna try to follow this content calendar that I've made for myself and see what I got going on. Let's see, we're in the month of August though. Well, yeah, I've only got 3 videos. My mid-season fave reads, 1 book review, and another video. So I'm gonna try to stick to it, because I would like to get my subscriber goal up on all platforms. Like I said, TikTok, Instagram, Storygraph, YouTube, all of it is Rama's Reading Nest. I am currently reading Icing on the Murder by Valerie Burns. And what else? Oh, The Best Man, Unfinished Business by Malcolm D. Lee and Jane Allen, who I met them on a panel at Essence, and I got them to sign my book. And Kennedy Ryan was also there, and she was promoting her newest book in the story. Jesus, Skyland. Why do I would say Storyland? Skyland series. Can't get enough. So yeah, I got them to sign my books, which was exciting. Yeah. What else? I don't know. That's just about it. Like I said, life is life, and I'm trying to hold on and get her done. But yeah, so far that's it. School started back on Friday for my youngest. She's a freshman in high school. A freshman. Like, I don't know what to do with that information. And then my oldest daughter, she's in her fourth year of college. So she's getting ready to get out of there. So this, yeah, I got a lot going on, a lot. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all just pray for me, cause it's a lot. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to give y'all a life update, and every day I kept looking at this tripod and this phone, and I'm like, I need to record a video, and every time I set up, I don't know, I didn't have the energy to do it. And like I said, I figure since I'm sitting out here in this parking lot, I ain't no telling how long the emergency room is gonna take, so I'm just sitting out here waiting. I figure, why not? So yeah, that's that. I don't think I'll do a blog for Essence, because I was in the moment. I really don't have very many pictures, so I'd probably stick a few of them, flash them at the bottom of the screen, But yeah, that's about it. So it brings me to the end of this video. Once again, like I said, please like, share, subscribe, follow, get the word out, help me get my subscriber count out. And yeah, see y'all later. Bye.